Snap Fitness in Grand Island offers 24-hour access, free weights, strength training machines, cardio equipment, nutrition plans, and personal trainers. They'll work with you to help you reach the goals you have in mind. Located at 217 East Dolly Park Road in GI.
Okay, welcome to In the Hoop. I'm George Ayub along with Bobby Mills, the 1,000-yard guy. We are our weekly session talking about high school basketball. We're a day late and always a dollar short. Always a dollar short here. So we're going to talk a little high school basketball as subs start in the lower classes this week.
Yes, it does.
And you had a game last night. You were the PA announcer. So
yeah, it's underway. Yep.
So let's before we start talking about local teams, let's talk a little bit about your. You saw the games at Heartland Event Center, the Heartland Hoops Classic. What were your impressions?
I thought that everything went pretty well. The games were pretty competitive, especially Kearney Norfolk. You know, at
surprisingly so. I think some people think surprisingly. Kearney is playing very well this part of the year.
We've seen that, and it you know, I thought maybe Tino was crazy when he booked this game, but it turned out Kearney's on a 10-game winning streak going in, and they gave Norfolk all they wanted. And of course, Norfolk will be the key team next year in Class A, which brings up the question. I guess Tino has Oak Hill coming in, but they won't play Norfolk. I don't think they want a rated team, or they won't come out. So there's a problem there. Maybe I'm not sure.
All right.
I don't, but there were some great games. Northwest played well for the first half, but were overmatched. And Senior High did a nice job before. That's just a run.
I wanted to talk about that 64-46. Elkhorn South beats them, but nowhere near what that was a close game right towards the end.
It was, and they really played with a lot of heart. And Elkhorn South, as you know, can probably contend in Class A with most teams. So I was proud of Senior High. They did a good job. And of course, Northwest is banged up as is Central Catholic, so those weren't. But the first game was probably the best. But then came, Denver East and Omaha Central. That was fantastic.
Crowds?
Not quite as what they were last year. I'm guessing 3,500 maybe, and they were slow getting there. So Tino will have to do some thinking about what to do next year. Because some people think coming to watch one game that the $16 is a little steep. So I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
2 sessions or whatever. But
it's a great event.
It is.
It certainly puts Central Nebraska on the basketball map.
Oh, it's a great day. Can't beat it. If you're going to stay all day, it's great value.
So let's talk boys high school basketball. The Islanders, as we mentioned, lost to Elkhorn South 64-46 the night before. They gave a good Northeast team a run, lost there 68-65.
Another
heartbreaker. So the Islanders this week 3 games. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. So
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they played 3. That's going to be a heck of a
deal. They have Hastings renewing the old rivalry with Class B Hastings, who comes in 7-12. The Islanders are 4-16 now. Lincoln North Star then comes to Grand Island, 13-8, and Connor Musold is a nice player. They have a good team.
They do.
They'll score some points on you.
They go up to Norfolk and take them into overtime before losing, so that's a good basketball team.
Yeah, and then they're going to close out with Columbus, another Class B team. Mm-hmm. The Islanders could get, on paper here, looks easily can get 2 out of 3 wins here.
And that will really help in that Serpentine District thing. Wow.
So, of course, Jeff Hofeld, I'm sure, has their attention on that. The Northwest boys ran into a couple good teams this weekend.
They did, and that's
53-30 on a Friday, and then the next night Newman doubles them up 70-35 at the Event Center. Again, some injury problems, finding a way to score points.
And, one of the injuries was their point guard that brings it down the court. That's awful tough to replace, but the little guy, Will Mettenbrink, did a nice job. But Newman is just tough, and they're relentless in their attack, and they won't give up early.
And Newman's going to want to outscore you, and you're right, they're going to be at it often.
They are, and boy, what a nightmare weekend, Beatrice and then Newman. I can't think of anything tougher.
Crete, McCook, and O'Rourke, they close out the season, all winnable ball games for
they have
Coach.
Crete, don't they, George? Wow.
Yeah, and that's a game that we were supposed to do, and that's rescheduled for tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, or actually tonight, excuse me.
At Crete, right.
No, it's here. The schedule says here, but I thought they had rescheduled that at Crete.
They did because they have that C1 district out there, sub-district for girls, so they moved it to Crete, which I thought maybe they just canceled it, but no, they're going to play it.
They're going to play it, according to that.
Yeah.
The Central Catholic Crusaders had a great win Friday night over at Hastings St. Cecilia, or that was here in Grand Island, actually, and probably left a few of their legs on the floor out there.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, Phoenix Stevenson and Eli Hunter down with injuries, and so they lose to Southern Valley. I'm not making an excuse there, and neither did Coach Martinez.
Yeah.
You know, he said, we can't make excuses, you have to step up. They lose to a really good C2 Southern Valley team, 48-38 at the Hoops Classic. They're going to close out with St. Paul, a game they should win.
Mm-hmm. And then into subs, and, of course, then it all starts, and they should probably draw the winner of St. Paul and Central City, and of course the big one on the other side is Adams Central, and don't forget Wood River, because they're playing good ball.
Wood River's playing good ball too. So I think Central Catholic is the odds-on favorite in that district, but you can't be looking past anybody.
No, and either if they lose, they're going to stay home.
Right, and they have to get because they're surprisingly so with some great wins, including one over Wahoo, another over an undefeated York team at the time, a Class B team. Yep. Their points are not. I thought they would be higher.
I did too, but C1 and C2 are just stacked, George.
Yeah, really good ball team. So so the Crusaders, I think their big thing now is to be healthy.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, get everybody ready to rock and roll. Heartland Lutheran, Harvard, Red Cloud, and Shelton are on their districts. They get a win 74-65 over Blue Hill, and then Burwell beats them by a point.
Oh, boy, and Blue Hill is not that bad a boys team. That's a great. That's
a Blue Hill 13-7.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, those are two.
So that's a good win, and and again, Burwell also 13-7. They took them right to the end, 59-58.
Yep.
So close out with a good Nebraska Lutheran team, and then they'll be ready for subs. The D1-6 sub.
A winnable sub for Lloyd and his boys.
And I think they'll be able to do that. So that's the boys lineup. We're going to be right back after a word from Snap Fitness, who now follows me on Twitter. I saw that.
All right.
And then we'll talk about girls high school basketball.
What's the most centrally located gym in Grand Island? Try Snap Fitness, a 24/7 gym that's loaded with state-of-the-art equipment from Cybex for both strength and cardio. Located at 217 East Dolly Park Road in Grand Island.
We are back in the hoop. George Abe along with Bobby Mills. Elisa Reitz behind the camera. Thank you, Elisa. Girls high school basketball. The Islanders are going to meet Kearney for in district play. It'll be the third time they're going to play Kearney.
Wow.
That's scheduled for a week from tonight. That's at Bellevue East. Before then, the Islanders are going to play Hastings tonight, North Star, and Columbus. All winnable games.
Wow, they have 3 also. Wow, what a way to close.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to give Joe a little scheduling.
Wow, that's
Gold
tough.
Star, but, these are games that the Islanders can win, they're on a losing streak now. They've lost 8 in a row.
Ooh.
And, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 8 in a row.
Yeah.
And, so winning games going into districts, and they're the 3 seed against Kearney, and Kearney's a good team. They're 16-6. Really important this time of year.
It is.
You get the momentum going, so you don't go limping into districts thinking, "Oh, this is it. I'm not going to do anything."
But they're such a scrappy team. They have the potential, just like the boys. I wish them well because they could win that.
Interesting thing too, a rivalry game. Rivalry games are really rivalry games because you're on one of the team's home courts.
Yeah.
When you take a rivalry game and put it at a neutral site, it really takes a lot of steam out of that.
It does.
So even though, Kearney has a couple wins here, the 2 wins Kearney had were 73-41 and then 51-35. Handily won the ball game. It's a little different. It'll be a little different look at Bellevue East.
It will, and sometimes student bodies can make a difference if they show up to the game, but Kearney's student body was not there Saturday, so I'm thinking they're not going to go to Bellevue East, so it's going to be a level playing floor with, and I don't suppose Grand Island's kids will go that
Tuesday
far.
Tuesday night on
yep.
School night. Round. Yeah, probably not going to be there. So, all that works in the Islanders' favor, I think.
It does.
Our friends out at Northwest, of course, continue to excel. 55-40 winners over a good Beatrice team.
Yep.
They have McCook and Aurora left on their schedule. I see no reason why they're not going to go into districts 20 and 2 and the team to beat, in my opinion, in Class B.
They are, and of course, Holdridge is in that district at senior high, by the way. And
the thing Northwest has going, I think, Bobby, is they've maintained a really high PowerPoint scores. You know, they're right at the top.
Yep.
And so you don't. It's a tough coaching thing, but you don't want to say, oh, we can always get in on the points.
You don't. Yeah.
You just don't want to rely on that. You never know. You want to win out here. You want to win out. So, but it is a nice kind of backup.
It is. You know, and I don't think
that's why you win the ball games.
That's right. I hope they don't put too much emphasis on we're probably in anyway thing, but because you want to go in on a winning note like they did last year. You know, although they did go in on a wild card and win the state title, they're even keeled team no matter what happens.
Right.
That's what I like about that bunch.
So I'm predicting they'll play Holdridge for a third time.
I think so.
It'll be the rubber match.
4 times last year. How about that?
Yeah. And that's a really terrific Holdridge team.
Yes. Oh, Rachel Jeldon and that bunch. We saw them there.
Yeah, we saw them against Central Catholic.
Yep.
They are a force to be reckoned with. Grand Island Central Catholic closes out its season with.
Well, let's hope not. Remember, they're
it's regular season. Yeah, regular season. I'm sorry. Lost to Blue Hill. That was 38-28.
Hey, you know, Blue Hill's got. I think they're 17 or 18 and 1. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, now they are. I think they're 19 and 1.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a good ball
that's
team.
A good club. So the Crusaders played them. You know, they only gave up 38 points, but so they're going to play Adams Central.
That's going to be a great baskground game. You know,
that's
everybody
tonight.
Yeah, they're all even out there. If you look at the records.
At the district. Now, you'll have that game?
Yeah.
And that's in Grand Island Northwest?
It's the late game, 7:30. 5:45 is the first one.
So the Crusaders, have a chance to, win and move ahead against an Adams Central team that's 9-14. The Crusaders are 9-12. Or, excuse me, 9-13.
So it's an even Steven matchup, just like the first game is. Yeah. So it should be some great, and lurking on the other side, don't worry about it, Minden and Kearney Catholic.
Yeah, who cares, right? Yeah. Which, on paper, that looks like the matchup, 2 undefeated teams.
And they never play each other.
And they never play each other, and they're a long fungo hit from each other.
Yeah.
They're 10 miles away.
I know.
And they don't play, which I think is unusual, but that will be a great matchup.
Yeah.
Probably a winner and a wild card going out of that district.
George, you can almost count on that, yeah.
Then Heartland Lutheran, they got a couple nice wins here at the end of the season. One over Nebraska Lutheran 44-43, and then over Burwell 49-34. That Lutheran game, Nebraska Lutheran was 13-4 going into that game.
That's a nice team, and as what boys are too. Yeah.
So they get the win.
Does Heartland Lutheran? Are they, even if they would, God forbid, lose in that sub? Will they be guaranteed a winning season? Are they 10-8 or 10-9?
They are now 11-9.
So. Gosh, what a great thing.
Even if they would lose, they would have a winning season.
But that's the first time.
Yeah.
And that's a
terrific job out there all the way around. So they have Shelton, and this is a game I'm calling that the Hornets can get it done.
I think so.
2-18 Shelton.
I think they're having a tough time getting girls out there. So both Heartland Lutheran boys and girls could come out of their subs, which would be a great thing,
right.
Especially for the gals.
Moving on and build more. Build more enthusiasm for the program, which really has made great strides this year.
Great school. I love that place. They treat us like kings and
they really
queens.
do when we go out there. Of course, they did make Elisa be out in the hallway.
They made it tough on her. Yeah, they did. She couldn't see the action, but by golly, she did a great job.
Yeah, she did a great job. So, all right, that's In the Hoop for this week. Brought to you by Snap Fitness. Go down and do a little workout. See, Ashley Schneider should get you all fixed up. Lisa Reitz, thanks for your help behind the camera. Bobby, always a pleasure. Get out and see a high school basketball game this week if you can. I'm George Ayub for theindependent.com.
Visit Snap Fitness in Grand Island for all of your workout needs. State-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers will help you reach the exercise and health goals you have in mind. Located at 217 East Stolly Park Road in Grand Island.